Hey, what's up everybody, Retro Gaming Guy here. Today in this video we're going to dive in and test out the EasySMX Arion 9013 wireless gamepad controller. So let's dive into it and see what it has to offer. Alright guys, here we have our EasySMX Arion 9013 wireless gamepad controller, and up here you can see our USB dongle. This is our receiver, so we plug this into our PC. Automatically it will sync up to the controller, just have to power it on with that center button here, but the feel of this is absolutely outstanding. Now I got the camo version of this, so you can see slightly camouflage sort of look to it, but I love the bright colors. I like these baby blue highlights on here. I think it looks really sharp, feels outstanding. It feels just like an Xbox 360, so it's not an oversized gamepad controller, but it's not super small. It's just that perfect size. I've always loved the 360 because I felt like it was just a really streamlined sort of setup. It offered everything that you needed. It didn't give you like a chunky sort of oversized feel where it was just, a lot to handle or an awkward kind of exchange between buttons or functions on here. That's not the case. This feels, again, just like a 360. I love the raised buttons here. So we have our A, B, X, and Y up here. And if we take a look from this angle, you can see they're up pretty high on here, so the action on here is pretty deep. It feels really good too, so it seems to have excellent functionality. We're going to be testing this out with some games here. We have start and select up here. We have the center button, which also powers this on, but we can also assign functions to this. So I'm probably going to use this as my hotkey function. So when I'm in emulation gaming, I like to use Batocera. I'll hit my center button and start, and that should exit me out of the game, and I'll be able to go back to main menu and switch to a different game. Now we also have a turbo button in the center. We have our L1, L2, R1, and R2 shoulder and trigger buttons here. Excellent action on here. It doesn't have a sweet spot, so anywhere that you hit this, it's going to function the same way. And I also love that my fingers line up perfectly with those. So if I'm hitting all my buttons here, raise my finger up to the shoulder buttons, they line up perfectly without even thinking about this. And then right below that is our triggers. So you can see I can just jump from shoulder to trigger really seamlessly, no issues there. It feels very comfortable here. Analog sticks, really nice glide to them, excellent feel. Can't wait to test out some racing games here because they just feel super smooth. And you can even see, look at the gloss on there. The gloss doesn't always mean much, but in this case it makes it so smooth. I mean, this just has a seamless roll to it. Also, like the D-pad here, I'm not big on just your typical cross D-pads where it's up, down, left, and right, and the sort of diagonal navigations are a little bit hard to hit on those. This has excellent scroll and roll to it, so you can see as I just circle around this, it performs really, all honestly, just like the analog stick does. So I'm really excited about that as well. If we flip this over now, this actually runs on batteries. So we have two AA batteries that go in here. I don't have them in at the moment, but I like this because, in all honesty, I don't charge my controllers. I'm always picking up controllers and finding out that they're dead, and then I have to charge it for a few minutes before I can get started. I hate doing that, but I still continue to do it all the time. So I like the fact that this runs off of batteries. I also like the fact that because I'm a retro gamer, if you couldn't tell by the Retro Gaming Guy name, I love the fact that this takes me back to a 360 controller. We had 360 controllers exactly like this, where you would put the AA batteries in the tubes there, click it right into place. So this obviously is a modern day controller, but it's got that original retro feel to it 100% across the board. So we're going to jump into some gameplay demos here. We're going to test this out. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this into my PC. Doesn't matter what USB port we use. I typically go to the ones on the back side of my PC though, just so this isn't sticking out. Personal preference there, but that's how I do it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Jump into Batocera, and we're going to dive into some emulation gaming. All right, guys, absolutely love this 9013 model from EasySMX. I think it's super high quality, but I'll be perfectly honest, I've used a lot of different controllers from EasySMX. I've done at least 2 review videos in the past on their products here on the channel, and I don't think you have to be concerned about, what model to go with, because you're going to look for superior quality with this one versus that one. Everything has been top of the line from EasySMX, so you're going to get exceptional quality analog sticks. That's the first thing that jumps out to me in terms of performance and reliability. They're super smooth. They track beautifully on screen. Everything about them is just very high end. And the entire price here for a controller is very reasonable. You're looking at anywhere from 25 to 40 bucks or so for a gamepad controller from EasySMX. So very high quality. I love the fact that the shoulder and trigger buttons are well balanced. It doesn't have a sweet spot in that you hit maybe one side over the other side, because it performs better. No matter where you're hitting these buttons, they're performing exactly the same way, which is great because not everybody is going to line up on these buttons the exact same way. For me personally, and I don't have the largest hands or the smallest hands, I'm pretty medium sized. Everything lines up perfectly. My fingers go right where they should on those shoulder buttons, so I don't have to strain to, like I said, find a sweet spot or anything like that. They line up dead center, and it doesn't matter if they didn't, because everything performs great across the board. Triggers are literally right below them. You don't have to. Sometimes you have to kind of move your fingers a certain direction just to get that perfect feel to it. For me, I just bring them straight down, and it hits those trigger buttons perfectly. So absolutely love everything about this, and I love the fact that it's so similar to an Xbox 360, which has always been my favorite controller. Xbox 360 wasn't my favorite console, but the controller, in my opinion, is one of the most comfortable controllers out there for all of our retro game consoles. That's obviously specific to me. That's how I feel about it. I can't say that everybody else is going to agree with me there, but if you do like the Xbox 360 controller, then definitely look into this particular model, the 9013 from EasySMX. You're going to love it if, again, you love that Xbox 360 sort of feel. The designs on here are absolutely amazing too. I love that baby blue sort of highlight that's on the outside of the controllers, and then the rest of it had that camo sort of vibe to it. Really like that. But they have a bunch of different options, so you don't have to go with exactly the same color scheme that I went with here, but that's what I liked, so I'm going to be using this. I'm actually getting another one because I liked it so much. So if you're into a good, reliable PC gaming controller that also can be used on other platforms as well, look no further than the EasySMX. I'll put a link up here at the top of your screen, as well as in the description of this video. You can click down and get some additional information on this. That is going to do it for today, though. If you enjoyed the content today, please give me a thumbs up on the video. Huge help to me here on YouTube. And of course, hit that subscribe button to stay in the loop for all future videos right here on the Retro Gaming Guy YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.